Well, this Black Business Month, we are meeting unique entrepreneurs and artists all around Central Florida, including a second-generation Florida Highwayman.
Yes, he'll be featured in a show this weekend. And News 6 Insider guide Crystal Moyer is here to tell us about the great history behind the art.
Yes, ladies, it's more than just painting. It is part of history. Now, I met that second-generation Highwayman artist in Ocoee, and he shares the motivation behind the group and how he is continuing the legacy.
Normally when I paint, I'll turn the music up, get me a glass of wine, and I normally just get into my own little world. But we're gonna start something new here. We paint alla prima, so that means there's not gonna be any pre-sketching, but I will put a horizon line in just so I have some kind of a guide.
Kelvin Hare is a second-generation Florida Highwayman artist.
Just putting a little paint on the palette. The only thing I'm doing now is I'm putting a little bit of red in here, and we're gonna make like this nice looking little sunset painting. During the 50s and 60s, Jim Crow Deep South, they weren't really allowed or welcome to sell in art galleries or museums. So they had to, if they wanted to make some money, they had to take their paintings on the road. And thus, that's where the name Highwayman came from, because that's where you had to sell it.
Kelvin's father, Alfred, was one of the original Florida Highwaymen, learning to paint from a white artist.
They were doing this work to survive and to eat. Dad, a lot of times when he was painting, he might paint 25, 30 paintings in a night or in an evening. And we're talking about a 4 or 5 hour period. You know, and those paintings nowadays sell for thousands of dollars, and he sold them back in the day, you know, for 25.
The Highwaymen would grow to include 26 Black artists from Fort Pierce, who were later inducted into the Florida Artists Hall of Fame in 2004.
You paint what you know and you paint what you see.
The Highwaymen typically painting Florida landscapes, some of their popular pieces including the iconic red poinsettia trees native to Florida.
This Highwayman style painting, which is very, very fast, full of color, and full of emotion. Just wipe it on the carpet and we just keep moving. I don't bother paper towels because it just takes too much time, and Highwaymen, we're not into wasting time, so.
Kelvin says he didn't have the opportunity to learn from his dad, Alfred passing away when Kelvin was just 5 years old. But artistry runs in his blood, and he's continuing the legacy, even teaching others how to paint Highwayman style.
A lot of colors are contrasty, like they'll be dark with a little bit of light in there to capture your attention. Actually, it's not just it calms me, but it's like a relief. You will forget whatever was bothering you. I can't even put it into words, like how good I feel. And I give you a great deal on this painting right here. I'm signing it right now. You notice the salesman part of me, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yes, he is quite the salesman. The picture that Kelvin painted will be featured at a Florida Highwayman art show and benefit on Saturday in Mount Dora. The event is free, and there will be several legacy and second-generation Highwaymen, so it's a great opportunity to meet them and learn more about their work and the history of the group. Of course, I will post information on that event and the Highwaymen on clickorlando.com/insider.
It's just so beautiful how he was able to keep the tradition going, even though his own father wasn't there to teach him. It is in his blood.
So cool. And, throughout his home, I did walk around, and there's a ton of paintings in there, and he had some from his father as well. Mm-hmm. So it was something that he really picked up when he was a teenager. He's actually a retired firefighter, so that's what he did by day. And then he started painting and learning how to do it. And it's just something that he's loved to do in his free time now. And, that room, he's just transformed into an art space. Mm-hmm. There's even like an extra layer of carpet, so he just kind of like wipes everything on. He's got to be quick.
Yes.
So it's really cool.
I've been so relaxed watching that, because he just talks and you can just see the strokes of the brush and all that stuff. I mean, I bet you were like enthralled in it too. It's
I was so amazed.
Yeah.
At first, I was telling him, hey, for this interview, let's get a painting that you have and maybe you can finish it up or add something to it. He's like, no, we're going to start from scratch.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do this in about 30, 45 minutes. And he did.
He did.
Wow.
And it looks incredible. And there are different versions. Typically, the Highwaymen paintings are very quick. They had to make a lot so that they can sell them to make a living. But now these days, they're making more detailed artwork. And he says, depending on the client or the customer, he'll do some more detailed work for you. And those go for a lot of money.
Yeah.
So really cool to have that in your house. And now looking back, if you have a Highwayman portrait or painting in your house, you could see the signatures, and they're in like the Artist Hall of Fame. And you have a piece of history with
And they're
you.
really priceless at this point. So Mount Dora this weekend.
Yes.
Check out that art show.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of Central Florida to paint. So it's so beautiful. You know what I mean? Like we talked about the poinsettia trees and the palm trees, and it's just amazing the contrast there. Well, thank you.
Thanks.